Welcome back to another Gaming Memories video. Here we are looking at a game called Rally de Africa that was released in 1998 by a company known as Prism Arts. And essentially it's an arcade style rally game, and this game now never really seen the light of day in Europe as such, because I remember back in the days now I never actually seen it, so this was obviously in other regions where it was released. The good thing about this here is at least it's all English, so it has all English subtitles and text and stuff like that, so it is really good. So essentially once you actually go to play it, straight away you instantly see similarities of if you've ever played Sega Rally, either in the arcade or actually on the Sega Saturn, because the Sega Rally that was originally released on the Sega Saturn when it was launched is still, even to this day, one of the best arcade racers ever made. And you can clearly see from looking at this game it takes a lot from Sega Rally. And I have to say now, up until a while ago I didn't even know that this game existed, and when I seen it and I seen pictures of it, I was like, this actually looks really good. And I have to say I was really intrigued by it, and I will admit it's not as refined as Sega Rally, but it actually plays very, very similar, and it is actually a really, really good game. Again, it has the same type of premise where you start off at the back of the pack and you have to work your way up through the groups to try and gain better positions as you go through the races. So the further up the leaderboard you can get, you qualify for the next stage and so forth. Now there's about 4 or 5 stages in total in the game, but again you can go through different championships and classes, so you can start off with like smaller classes like say A class, K class, or whatever it is the case may be. So you start off with smaller underpowered cars, and then eventually in different classes you can upgrade then to faster type of cars and go through the whole process again. So there's enough there to keep you entertained for quite a while. But I have to say, the one thing straight away that appealed to me the most is I love the graphical style, because it definitely feels like a proper genuine arcade racer for that era. Like I mentioned, similar to Sega Rally, which I absolutely loved, and I still love that game. And it's definitely a case where this takes a lot from that. Even graphically, it's very, very similar. That's the one thing that's striking about it. The tracks and everything, and even the way it plays, essentially is very, very similar to Sega Rally. So it's actually a really good game, I have to say. And I just love the whole graphical style of it. The graphics are really, really good. They're really, really smooth. The frame rate's really good in the game. It actually plays really, really well. It is tough. It's not to say that it's easy. It does present quite a tough challenge to get used to, but once you start to master it and understand the mechanics and how to use the cars and how to drive them properly, you can definitely really get a lot out of this game, and I really enjoy it. And you can really begin to start to push the car to its limits. So if you've ever played the likes of Sega Rally, you'd feel right at home here. So I have to say, finding this game here now has definitely been a pleasure, because it's actually a really, really good game. And again, I love racing games anyway. I especially love racing games on the PlayStation 1. I just love that whole era of games. And to find games like this here is fantastic, because they're like I always mention in all the videos that I make on this channel, PlayStation has so many unique games, and even more racing games. It's unbelievable the amount of racing games that were released on the system that we didn't get to see in Europe or even in America. And now is the perfect time to actually begin or get started and stuck into exploring and playing these games, because there really is some phenomenal games out there, and this is just a prime example of that. Having played through this, I actually got addicted to it, because it just, like I said, it reminded me so much of Sega Rally, and I just sat and I played it for ages. Now I will admit, when you get to the likes of the final stages, you unlock more super powerful kind of cars, like trucks and stuff like that. And the last track is very, very tough, because you can actually go off cliff edges and stuff, compared to the other tracks where you are confined within the boundaries, and at least you have kind of barriers on the sides, as you can see there, that'll actually stop you, so they do slow you down, but at least they're not really cutting into your time too much. But on the last track, I think it's the Congo track. Now I haven't shown it in this video, but I will be doing a future video I will be doing future videos with more playthroughs and stuff like that, showing all the tracks and so forth. But it's very, very difficult, that track, so you will find yourself going off the edge an awful lot, as I did. So it's just, it's tough. But again, I have to say, this is a really, really enjoyable game, and I highly recommend it. Anybody out there that if you're into your racing games and into your arcade racers, and especially if you did play Sega Rally back on the Saturn or even in the arcade, definitely give this game a go, because it's really, really good. Again, I just love the whole graphical style, because even the graphics on the cars themselves, the backgrounds, everything is actually, it's definitely resembles that period in gaming, and it actually looks fantastic. Because like I mentioned, the frame rate runs really, really well. It's very smooth. Everything graphically just looks really, really good, and coupled with that with really good gameplay as well, it's definitely a really good racing game in my opinion. So I'm just going to play through a wee bit further onto one of the other campaigns in this here as well, just with one of the other cars, just so that you can see the difference in the types of cars that you have on offer. And you do have actually access to a lot of different like high-end production cars. They have like full licenses and so forth. Like see there, you have the likes of the Mitsubishi Lancer, there's the Subaru Impreza, and it is phenomenal the fact that you do have access to all these cars as well. And you even got the Peugeot 306, which back in the day I actually loved that car. I always loved the look of it, and it always was a cool looking rally car. So even with the Megane rally car as well, that's an awesome looking car too. So they're definitely unique for its time, for that period and when those cars were available. And again, as you can see, the graphics in the game are actually really, really good. They really suit the whole aesthetic of the game.
Three, two, one.
So as you can see here, like you've got two main views. You've got a like behind the car kind of camera view, and then obviously like say a first person type of view. And both views are very, very good. You can handle the cars or drive the cars really well with them. Now I prefer the first person type of view, but regardless of which one you choose, either one will suit you. But I just love the whole aesthetic of the game. The graphics are really, really bright and vibrant, and it really suits the style of what they're going for. And like I said, the graphics actually, the models in the game, they're really, really smooth, and they look really, really good compared to some other racing games out there at that time. This here actually is definitely one of the better looking games in my opinion. And again, it's a pure arcade racer at heart, so it definitely, all the visual style just appeals to it. So it is really, really good. Yeah, as you can see, my driving's not the best. There's some races now you'll actually fly through it, you know, and then there's other races not so much. Sometimes you get lucky and just get a good run, and others it just takes a bit more to get going, and you can make a lot more mistakes. As I say, no two races are the same in the game, but that's what adds to the fun and adds to the challenge of it.
Three, two, one. Oh, engine left. Wrong, engine right. Engine right. Engine right. Wrong, engine right. Engine left. Oh. Three, two, one.
So yeah, and you have different types of environments and stuff that you can actually race on as well, which actually is pretty cool in the game. You can go from desert to kind of like more snowy kind of environments, which is pretty cool. So there's definitely a lot to offer in this game if it's something that you're into. So what are your thoughts on Rally de Africa? Have you played it and have you experienced it and did you enjoy it? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below, because this is actually a really good game. And if you're into arcade racers, this is definitely worth a playthrough for sure. It's definitely worth experiencing. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Also hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well to be updated whenever I release future videos, as I am going to be exploring other racing games like this here in the future. And I will be doing more videos on this game, doing like long playthroughs and so forth, because it's definitely a game that needs to get more exposure in my opinion. So as always, make sure to keep playing and enjoying those classic games, and make sure to keep those gaming memories alive.